What a community justice worker is someone who is based in the community of clients who are eligible for legal aid. So at NLADA, what we're really looking at are people who are living in or near poverty. So clearly do not have the resources to pay for an attorney, but also because of the way our system is set up, and not just our legal system, but all of our system that people are interacting with. So our housing system, our income support system, our employment system, our education system, healthcare, we can go on and on. That sector of our society is regulated more than any other sector of our society. They are facing a complex web to be able to access really just things that allow them to survive and, ideally would enable them to thrive. And so a community justice worker is someone who is in that community, who has come up through that community, who has the trust of that community, but also the experience and the expertise to be able to navigate and unwind that web.
Some of the things that attracted me to being a community justice worker, in addition to helping and serving my community, were the ability to start a new career path without having to pursue additional education.
One of the ways that I have helped as a community justice worker was when I had a family member who had had a rough past and was really trying to turn their life around and just needed some help with getting a record cleared of dismissed charges. And so I was able to help him get those charges cleared, and now he has a great job that he wouldn't have been able to get if he had not had his record cleared.
In Alaska especially, there's been a lack of knowledge or awareness that their inability to get food benefits is actually a legal issue. So one of the first things that community justice workers have been helpful with is spreading that knowledge. So really getting the word out into the community that if you're not getting your food benefit, that's not just a life problem, that's a legal problem. And there's community justice workers in place to really help fix that problem.
As a community justice worker, a lot of things that I do involve family law. And helping people with this situation, I've had them tell me that they couldn't have done it without my support. And I believe that being that support for them in our local communities is really helping people in these situations.
Community justice workers in Texas can be a game changer, and particularly in rural communities where there is little access not just to legal aid, but to any lawyers, since there are legal deserts throughout such a large state as Texas.
I was a lawyer. In my pro bono work, I was asked to represent individuals and families who were subject to a well-founded fear of persecution. Literally, they were in the United States seeking asylum, and if they were deported back to their countries, they'd be tortured and killed. And so when I went in to represent them, I was a lawyer. I was actually educated by non-lawyers who were effectively justice workers who would work on case after case for asylees. And because of that specialized training, I was able to actually represent a number of families whose lives I can say I saved because they got political asylum in the United States. But as a lawyer, I wasn't trained in the area of political asylum work, but these specialized, effectively justice workers were. And so pairing them also with lawyers and legal aid and legal help is a really powerful idea of frontline justice.